world is not about me. I heard this song a while back, a long time ago, and these are the words that stood out to me the most. And since the time I heard that song, I've implemented that phrase into my prayers since I've heard that. That's very powerful. If our hearts were to break the same way that God's heart broke, we would just love immensely. We would love Him, and we would love all His creation. Now, with that in mind, I would like to talk about my mom. Since this is a Marian devotion, I want to kind of tie her actions in this song and Mary and her actions with Jesus. My mom is a really nice woman. Even though I grew up in a household where our income was pretty low, my mom was always humble. She was always nice and generous. I can remember times where she would meet people who were in need, and she would bring them to our house and let them live with us for a while. I remember her telling me a story where she would go to work, and she met this immigrant from India, and he basically never had food, but he worked, and she would make extra food for him. That was really amazing. Even coming from a poor family and giving, she just had a big heart. It just fascinated me. There was a time where we met this person who, quote unquote, was her uncle. I'd never believed that. But somehow he was a homeless guy, and he was an immigrant from Mexico. And she invited him to stay with us. And somehow there was money missing from our family, or from my mom's room. And this guy just suddenly disappeared. And she was pretty upset, but she never really held a grudge against that guy. And that didn't stop her from continuing being generous to other people. Just recently, I was talking to my brother, and he was telling me that some random lady was living with us, living with them. And I thought, well, there she goes again. She's being so generous. She's letting people live in our house for free, and she's feeding them. And she just has such a big heart. The same way, I know this is going to sound very old, but the same way we see in the Gospel of John, chapter 2, verses 1 through 5, we read about the miracle of Jesus turning water into wine at the wedding of Cana. And Mary acts as an intercessor, right, for the people. And Jesus, even though he didn't want to do this, he was obedient. So we see that connection there. And so I kind of want to ask you guys to kind of feel the same way, be obedient, and at the same time love the way our mothers would love. Go to the extreme, even though there's no gift for you at the end, or at least physical gifts. Just like my mom, she never expected any of these people that she let live in our home, to pay her back in any way. She just did it out of just generosity and the love that she had for everyone who didn't have anything. Okay. So I kind of want to invite you guys to pray, because a Marian devotion is not only talking about Mary and that kind of stuff, but it's also prayer. We are prayerful people, and so I think we should pray. Okay, so I have some petitions. We will start off in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
We will do one decade of the Rosary.